I'm gonna be honest and try to not pronounce the name of the manufacturer of my case, but the Enthoo Pro is probably one of the best cases out there, at least in my opinion. And it doesn't feel like one of the best cases out there. It doesn't look like one of the best cases out there. I originally, when I rebuilt my PC earlier this year, I was gonna go for the Rosewield Nighthawk, but that was just too far above my budget. And I really wanted a big full tower case because one of my big problems with my last case was that my graphics card could not fit in, or at least it was really snug, and it was at risk of like my wires hitting each other and all that kind of stuff. It was a tight fit as far as like my graphics card went in that last case. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this full tower. I'm going to go ahead and just buy this huge thing so I had plenty of room to do whatever I need in it. So I chose the Enthoo Pro, and I love the full tower. I love how big it is. And yes, it is a little bit big on the desk, but I actually really think that it feels like it's powerful. And that's awesome for me because I love the power inside my computer. I love the power that it permits throughout the room and to my friends, you know. And I think that the full tower really kind of explains that. And as far as the aesthetic goes, I actually ended up really liking it. As far as, you know, because I had the black and yellow thing before, and now I just have like this aluminum white black kind of aesthetic thing, and it's really nice actually. It's really nice, and it kind of just fits in well with my actual monitors, and kind of blends in the back. And when I want it to come out, it comes out, and when I don't want it to come out, it kind of blends back in the background. So I actually really ended up liking the design on it, and the USBs and everything on it were really cool too. I can just close them down when I'm not using my headset, or I can open them up when I want to plug something in. So it's really cool, and it really actually becomes a little bit more minimalistic once you don't need it. So I absolutely love this case, and I'm very happy with my $100 purchase. My PSU is specifically overkill for my build. As parts get lower and lower wattage needed, I got a bigger power supply. I ended up with the GS700 by Corsair, and as far as I can tell, this PSU is actually out of date right about now. It's not being made anymore, or at least I can't find it being made anymore. But nevertheless, I still have this one. I probably got one of the last ones ever made because I got this one about a year ago. And there's no problem with it. A PSU is a PSU. It lights up, which is all fancy. It has a few different lighting options, which is awesome. Although my case does not have a window. But no, this PSU is great. No problems with it. I actually love Corsair stuff. A lot of the stuff I own is Corsair. And when I buy new things, I go Corsair if I can. At least for the most part. And no, this, like I said, it's kind of out of stock right now, or at least out of business, or not out of business, but like, you know, it's not being made anymore, as far as I can tell. But 700 watts is more than enough. And like I said, as PC parts need lower and lower power, this PSU just keeps getting bigger and bigger of a deal because of how big it is and how much you can basically run. I can probably end up running two 1070s on the 700 watt power supply if I really wanted to. Not that I will. But no, it's really that big, and nowadays and in the years coming, it will still continue to be big, and depending on how long it lasts, it could end up being huge because, like I said, things do keep getting lower and lower TDP. So that is my power supply, the Corsair GS700. RAM is just RAM, and I went with the Kingston HyperX series 8GB one stick of DDR4 RAM in this new build, and I don't have a problem with it. And like I said, RAM is just RAM. It's not that fancy, it's just RAM. And especially with how easy it is just to plug it into your computer now, it's super easy to upgrade, and I am thinking about getting 16GB of RAM soon, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. I got one stick because I wanted to eventually have a 32GB setup if I wanted to go in with more of these one stick 8GB models. But no, it's really just RAM. That's all there is to it, and there's no problem with it. It's not going to explode or anything in your computer because it doesn't work the right way. RAM is RAM, and there's really not that much else to say. The heart and soul of my build is this i7 6700K Skylake quad-core 4.0 GHz LGA 1151 91 watt CPU. Now that's a mouthful, but this is actually the first Intel CPU I've ever had. I've actually ran AMD most of my life, and aside from like laptops and stuff, but in my main rig has always been AMD, and I decided that if I was going to go Intel, if I was going to do this big switch from AMD to Intel, it was going to be the very, very best, and the very, very best is definitely this i7 6700K. It can do just about anything you want it to, from streaming to just playing games to editing videos to plain and simply just typing or doing whatever you need to do. The i7 6700K is great. It's about $400 right now, at least. It's $381 as I'm looking at it on the screen right now here on Newegg. But I got it for around $320, I think, and I put it into my build a few months ago, and I haven't had any problems with it. But more than not, I haven't had any regrets. I don't regret the $320 at all. I think it was money well spent, and I probably would have paid $400 for this processor if I knew how well it performs, because this thing is just out of this world awesome. All my gear is sitting on top of this Gigabyte Z170 XP motherboard, and I want to be completely honest with you right here, is that until I researched this video, until I got all my parts and everything onto one script, I thought this was an MSI motherboard. So what I mean, and what that means basically, is that I don't have any problems with this thing. It's great. I use it obviously every day. I really don't know what to say about a motherboard. As far as features go, it has everything I need. Not that I need a whole lot, but no. The biggest thing about this is that it supports the DDR4 RAM for the Z170 and the Intel i7 Skylake CPU. So I think that's probably like the biggest thing that is going for this board. But all in all, it's just a standard motherboard that I honestly forgot the name of, because it's not that big of a deal. It's not like I have an Asus Sabertooth or whatever they're called, or whatever, the titanium from whatever brand. You know, I have this standard motherboard that I have all my stuff on, and that's that. My GPU is definitely going to be the longest segment, because I can talk about my GPU forever. Well, I guess both my GPUs. Right now I have an R9 390. However, as I'm making this video, and depending on when this video comes out, either Wednesday or Friday, this will be the last time I play a game with an R9 390, because a 1070 is coming in the mail. I bought a 1070 on Black Friday from Newegg for a really good price, around $350, which is around $100 off. So I have an MSI R9 390 as I'm recording this. I absolutely love MSI, and like I said, I thought my board was MSI, so I really like MSI. I like all the stuff they do. Everything they do is absolutely perfect. I love that company, and that's why I spent about an extra $40 getting a MSI 1070, because the Asus 1070 was, like I said, around $30 to $40 less, or cheaper, I guess, than the MSI one. But I sprang for the MSI one because I want to stay in the brand, because I love MSI. I love what they did with their R9 390, and I'm probably going to be an MSI customer for the rest of my life, as long as one of their GPUs doesn't crash on me. But no, this is absolutely great. I love MSI. I know I'm going to love the 1070, especially because I haven't spent $1 million on a 1440p monitor yet. So this thing's absolutely going to crush 1080p games, and I'm going to enjoy the 1070 immensely, I'm sure of it. So the R9 390 is a great card, and I like I said, I love it. It's treated me well for about a year and a half now, but it's time to retire, buddy. It still works great. It still runs games very well. It's running Watch Dogs 2 right now, high settings. It's absolutely great. It still destroys games, but it's just time to move on to the 1070, buddy. I'm sorry. I have two monitors. I have a dual monitor setup. I have two Acer monitors, and they have very long names, but I can tell you they're both in the G series. I think I have the G220 or G24 and G something else. One's a gaming monitor, which I obviously play my games on, and one is a regular monitor that I had since I bought this computer, or since I built this computer. I got this monitor when I built the computer, and I used it to play games. I used it to do all my video editing. I used it to do everything. And I loved it. There was no problem with it. It's a perfect monitor. It's a standard 1080p monitor, but I found the need to do more. I found the need to want more, especially when I started streaming. I wanted to be able to see what was on my left side, what was my chat was saying, what my game was looking like, what my people had to say, what my friends had to say. So I bought a second monitor. This was the gaming monitor. So then I switched my monitors. I used my gaming monitor to play games on, and I used my original monitor that was a standard monitor to basically watch my chat and do whatever I need to on that side. Now, it is interesting, some games do support dual monitor. I think Watch Dogs 2, which you're watching right now, is one of them, but no, it honestly, it's not that great. It's not that great, gonna be honest here, but no, dual monitors are awesome. I would never go back, and I hope I have the means and the money to buy two monitors whenever I get a new PC for the rest of my life, because I absolutely love two monitors. It lets me do so much more, it lets me see so much more, it lets me just be a lot more productive, I feel. So I really like the dual monitor setup I have going on here, and I hope that I can kind of keep this setup going for a while. Now, I said that I would stay in the Corsair brand for most stuff I buy new, but I didn't buy this keyboard too long ago before I started really getting into Corsair. I have the Razer Black Widow Chroma, and I ended up with the Logitech G105, and I've had that for a few years, and recently I wanted to upgrade. I wanted to get a mechanical keyboard. I know they're better, they last longer, and I like pretty lights on my keyboard, so that's always fun. But I absolutely actually am really loving this keyboard. I've had it for about a month and a half now. It's definitely the newest addition to my build before my new GPU comes. But no, this is absolutely awesome. I am enjoying this one so much. It has millions and billions and gazillions of different lighting combinations that I can use, and I sometimes put this on for just crazy lights. I already have a preset set up in Razer Synapsis where I just have everything all crazy, and it's a lot of fun to mess around with sometimes when you're bored on a Sunday or whatever. It's a lot of fun to screw around with just the lights on your keyboard, and it's mechanical, so that's always great. It has some extra buttons here on the side, which I actually have really grown to like. I had them on my last keyboard too, and one of the reasons I bought this one was because it had those keys on the side, because I actually really do like them. I like using them, and I actually like giving they give me like extra space on the side, so I really enjoy those. Great keyboard, no complaints about it, and I feel like that's gonna last me a long time. The microphone I'm using right now is the Blue Snowball, and I have it suspended on an arm with a pop stand. But no, I use this mic for literally everything I do, from recording audio to talking to my buddies online to voice commanding Cortana. It's great. I don't have any problems with it for the most part, and I absolutely love this mic. I'm thinking about upgrading soon, but that's obviously in the future, and if I would stick in the Blue franchise and get a Blue Yeti. But no, without a doubt, this is an awesome microphone. I absolutely love it. There's no problems with it. It's small. It's smaller than you would think. It's better quality than you would think, and the best of all, it's just standard USB microphone, which means I could literally take this anywhere. I could plug it into my laptop downstairs. I can plug it into my computer over here. I could even plug it in to my buddy's smaller laptop he has in his room. I can literally put this in wherever I want, and it'll still work. It'll still work perfectly. It'll still sound the same. It's awesome. I absolutely love this microphone. Finally, my mouse is the Logitech G502 Podia Score, I think is how you pronounce it. I love this mouse. I looked into Razer, and when I was first building my computer, I had a nasty resistance towards Razer because I didn't really like their products. I thought they were kind of expensive. I thought they were a little bit overpriced. I thought they were kind of flashy. I've since grown to like Razer a little bit more, but I kept this mouse because I absolutely love this mouse. This mouse, for one, is sturdy. I've had games of Overwatch where I just wanted to throw my computer out the window, and I was slamming my mouse, I was slamming my keyboard, and this mouse actually held up. I actually thought I broke it at one point, but this mouse actually held up, and it absolutely was. At first, I was relieved because I was very scared when I thought I broke this mouse, and second, I was just impressed because the level of detail that Logitech put into this, not the level of detail, but like the level of quality assurance they put into this was awesome, because I was slamming hard that night. The other thing is that it does have a free spin wheel, which I haven't seen on any other mouse, but I actually really like it. I really like it a lot, and it's, for one, it's fun to just kind of spin when you're bored, but second, it's also fun to just kind of like, it's also interesting because you can kind of have like the free spin however fast you want to go. So if you know that what you want to see is at the bottom of the page or whatever, you can go ahead and do that. It's actually really fun when you're doing MMOs or something. You can just free spin your mouse and get to the other side of your ability bar real quick if you really wanted to. It's an awesome mouse. I actually really like it. It has like a thumb rest. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I do, but I absolutely love this mouse, and I recommend it to everybody in my entire of my setup. With that, my name's been Z-Star. I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I definitely enjoyed making it. I could literally talk about computer stuff all day long, but I know no one has time for that. So go ahead and like the video if you'd like to, dislike it if you dislike. Go down in the comments below and tell me why you rated it like you did, and I'll see you guys in the next video.